since 1941, there really hasn't been a proper small Jeep. The original Willys Jeep was, of course, in and of itself, quite a compact vehicle, but since then, Jeeps, because they're American, have generally speaking been quite large, proper full-size SUVs, if you will. Now, we did have the Jeep Compass and the Jeep Patriot a few years back. Neither of those were particularly good cars. In fact, they were pretty much downright dog-awful. This, then, is Jeep's first proper stab at the most significant part of the modern car market, which is the compact SUV crossover. This car is a rival to the likes of the Nissan Juke, maybe the bottom-end Qashqai as well, maybe even the Skoda Yeti, certainly stuff like the Peugeot 2008 and Mini Countryman. And in that company, it has to be good. There are some very impressive cars in that list. So far, I think this is holding up quite well. Now, okay, we're driving a left-hand drive car on Italian roads. It's always hard to make a definitive judgment from that kind of test. But this Renegade feels quite pleasant to drive, well balanced, dynamically pretty well sorted. It's spacious in here, pretty well built too. There are some scratchy hard plastics around the cabin, but they're mostly low down and out of sight. Everything up here, things like the steering wheel, things like the top of the dash, things like the gear stick, they all look and feel really quite nice. So the quality seems to be there, albeit we did detect a few rattles and squeaks on the interior of one of our test cars. Now, there's a front-wheel drive 1.6 litre Renegade that does 115 grams per kilometre of CO2, and that will doubtless be the volume seller in Ireland, and it's a very pleasant machine indeed to drive. You will be able to get a, shall we say, full-fat four-wheel drive Trailhawk version, which gets extra ground clearance, extra underbody protection, and is designed to be a proper, full-on, serious off-roader. Jeep is making the point that with its brand, it can't produce a car that's completely soft, that's completely aimed at families and those doing the school run. The looks will definitely be polarizing. It's kept an awful lot of the traditional Jeep styling cues, tried to put them into a modern overall shape. It won't please everyone. Personally, I think it's quite good. It's certainly distinctive, and it's much more handsome than the current class leader in terms of sales, the Nissan Juke. What it will come down to, of course, will be price.